All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. It's hump day, and in case you missed the winter weather, well, Brad's back with more bad news for you. But the good news first. Let's get to the good news first. Right now, it is gorgeous out there. We have mostly clear skies across all of the Piedmont. All those low clouds continue to get eaten up and kind of pushed off to the east. We're going to make it into the mid-50s in a lot of locations, upper 50s in the upstate of South Carolina, but in the mountains, cold air is moving in, so temperatures are in the 30s right now, and we've got a little drizzle and mist up there. Basically at Boone. It's kind of ugly. We could see a little freezing drizzle later this afternoon into tonight before it all comes to an end. The bigger story is the Arctic air, which is reloading right now to our north and west. Here's our storm system coming in Thursday night and Friday. That's going to bring a little bit of snow, I think, initially to the mountains, and then it's going to become a lot of snow as we go into Friday and Saturday, because on the back side of this, we've got some serious Arctic air up here in Canada. I mean, look at these temperatures. 44 below zero at Deadman Valley. What an appropriate name there. 44 below zero at Carmax. And look at central parts of Alaska. It's 40 below at Manly Springs, 34 below in Fairbanks, 38 over there in Central. So there's a lot of Arctic air up here, which is diving to the south and east. And that's going to arrive on Friday into the weekend. And that's really going to set the stage for what's going to be heading our way early next week. A potential ice storm is in the offing for Monday night into Tuesday. Let me show you what that looks like right now, looking at the GFS model. This is the GFS model. And the thing that is making me a little concerned here is we're going to have Arctic air in place. We've got an Arctic area of high pressure over the Hudson Valley of New York down into eastern Pennsylvania. And you see how these isobars, these black lines, are kind of buckling down I-85 all the way down into northeast Georgia. That's a signal of a wedge. And what I mean by that is cold wedge. That's high pressure that with clockwise flow, you see the clockwise flow pushes low-level cold dry air down into the Carolinas. It gets trapped by the Appalachian Mountains here to the west, and that gets trapped at the surface. At the same time, we've got an area of low pressure you can see with all this moisture forming over the northern Gulf of Mexico. Let's go ahead to Monday night into Tuesday. We've got the high shifting a little off the coast, not ideal, but notice we've got cold air, which is this blue line, trapped up against the mountains. As this low cranks up, it's got counterclockwise flow. It's throwing moisture up and over that cold air mass, and it's likely going to be ice. The thing that concerns me is typically if the high goes to the east, that's not a great position, but there's a reinforcing high, a 1026 Arctic high with really cold dry air diving back into Ontario and heading down into New England. So it looks like we're going to have at least what we call high pressure maintenance of the low level cold dry air, which unfortunately is ideal for icing situations. As I look at the soundings, and this is the buff kit sounding from the GFS, what you're looking at, anytime you see these red bars, that's freezing rain. Blue is snow and green is rain. And you can see starting Monday night through early Tuesday, we've got a period of freezing rain, which is pretty significant there, basically from, I would say, rush hour Monday all the way through Tuesday morning. And that's over a quarter inch of ice. That's 0.31 inches of liquid, which is enough to bring down power lines and tree limbs. That's usually a quarter-inch threshold, and we're going to have to keep an eye on it. And it's likely that some of this green could end up being all freezing rain as well, which would mean we're approaching a half an inch of liquid equivalent. So just to remember, what I'm talking about here is snow. When we get snow, the layer of cold air is deep enough, it's all snow. When we get sleet, we have cold air with what we call a shallow warm nose or warm layer, and it gets cold again at the surface, and you see refreezing to sleet. In the freezing rain situation, you have a deep layer of warm air, but down at the surface, you have really cold air below freezing, and that's what wedges us in. And as we look at the soundings, this is what we have. This is what we're looking at late Monday night at 8 p.m. If you look at this little nose, and we call it a warm nose because it looks like a nose when you look at somebody in profile, we go out into the future. Down at the ground, the temperature is below 0 Celsius or below freezing, but up here around 3 to 4 to 5,000 feet, we've got a warm nose, which is going to keep this all liquid until it reaches the ground, and we're going to see a refreeze. So that's the scary thing about what we're looking at for Monday. It's still several days out, but this is the second or third run that I've seen that shows the potential for this ice on Monday. So stay tuned. This could be a dicey situation with Arctic air moving in over the weekend. But in the meantime, please get out and enjoy this beautiful weather.